Hi there, everybody. I'm Kelly Heidbrader, and this is Lenawee. We're taking a tour around Lenawee County to see some amazing things going on right here in our classroom. It takes a community to raise a child, and Adrian Schools is doing just that. We will show you what they're doing for families here in Lenawee County. Also, young thespians at Madison Schools are taking the stage for their annual musical. And what a production! You'll want to check out what these kids are doing behind the scenes. And student chefs in our culinary department learn how to properly fillet a salmon, and that causes some really fun reactions. You got to see that. Well, now let's go to third grade in Morenci Schools, where they're mixing art class and science class.
Hi, I'm Dia. I am in third grade, and I have with me my teacher,
Mr. Grimm.
What have we been learning today?
Well, today we were working on paper sculptures. Most of the time we do 2D art, but today we decided to try our hand at 3-dimensional art, and in this case we did paper sculptures. So what we're doing is we're taking a piece of paper, we're going to be cutting it into 2-inch strips and making an outline, and then on the inside of whatever picture we create, we're going to be making little round circles out of paper as well.
Why do you think this is a more interesting project than just 2D art?
A lot of the art that we have been doing recently is always 2D. It's the painting, it's the drawing, but in this case we get to use our hands and our minds and think about things and do a different technique and put things together that way.
So first we took a ruler and we cut 2 inches of paper and glued them together to make them look like what we wanted them to do. And then we took little rolls and then we put them on like in the spots that we would like. It's more challenging, but it's fun to do it because you can do it with your hands, not with just paint and stuff like that, because we've been doing 2D art and now we're doing 3D. Have you been having fun with this project? What has been your favorite part? Yes, I've been having fun because I'm doing crafts with my friends, and the most fun part is probably pasting them together because it's kind of challenging.
I've looked at most of the projects already and they seem to be going well. The students seem to be really enjoying them, and it's again much different than things that we normally do, so it adds a whole nother challenge or complexity to the project.
What a great classroom combination. Fantastic learning going on right there. Now let's see what it takes to put on a musical production at Madison Schools. They have all of the bells and whistles at their auditorium, and these kids are learning how to ring them all.
My name is Erin Pfeiffer, and I'm the director of the 25th Annual Putnam County Spelling Bee. I chose this show over the summer and decided that it would be a great fit for our students here at Madison. I always love to choose shows that have very flexible roles. Don't always have to have a star female or a star male. Lots of different character parts is what I look for in a show. And this one has a lot of comedy, but it also has a lot of heart. So that's why I chose this show. Yeah, this is our 8th musical here at Madison Schools, and we were housed at Siena Heights University for a spell until our beautiful new Performing Arts Center here was constructed, and now we are just so happy to have our home here. And we've done classic shows such as Oklahoma or classic Rodgers and Hammerstein piece to something like this. This is probably the most modern show we've done. 25th Annual Putnam County Spelling Bee was just on Broadway just about 5 or 10 years ago, so it's a fairly new piece. So we like to mix up the experiences and let the kids have experiences with lots of different types of musical theater.
Just the thought of playing different characters really draws me to all of these shows, to just try new characters, roles, try to put myself in places where I think I should be. This experience, just being around the people that I love, and they're just great. They're my friends, and just connecting with them more is all I care about.
It was a good audition. I liked my audition. I was confident in the way I sang, which I'm usually not because I'm more of an actor than a singer myself. So to make it was, especially with the role I got, was a lot better than I thought it was going to turn out. Connecting with my cast is always the best time. We always end up being this family. And even though it changes a little bit every year, we're always together, and it's always a good time to hang out with them.
I've really enjoyed watching the students get involved in their characters. They are so funny and so very heartfelt, and I laugh and I cry every time we run through the musical, even after seeing it 25 times. So I'm just very sure and certain that all of our friends and family who come to see the musical next weekend will hopefully feel the same. Yeah, they've really worked very hard, and they're not afraid to try new things, which is a really great skill, I think, to have in musical theater, but also in everything that they do. Just the courage to try something new and think outside the box is really something that we try to foster in our musical theater program, so it's really great to see them do that.
Some talented kids on that stage and behind the scenes. Well, do you know someone thinking of going to college? Well, we can help you fill out those applications. Grab some paper and a pencil because we'll give you some tips right after this.
Hi, I'm Mike Rowe. 14 years ago, my mom was diagnosed with breast cancer. Well, this year she celebrated her 50th wedding anniversary.
Is that why you've taken off your jeans?
No, I've taken off my jeans to prove the link between jeans and the fight against breast cancer.
Oh, that's interesting. Do I have to take off my jeans?
No, nobody has to take off their jeans, Mom, but everybody has to go to denimday.com right now. I'll explain everything, dress code optional.
Apparently. 1 in 8 women will be diagnosed with breast cancer. Learn more at denimday.com.
Smokey just gave me a bear hug.
If you or someone in your family is considering college, it can seem like there are a lot of things to do before you start taking classes. Well, our LASD counselor, Sue Ritchie, can help you get through each step, and you'll be ordering those books in no time.
Hi, I'm Miss Ritchie, the counselor at the LASD Tech Center. I'm going to walk you through the steps of applying to college. Once you've decided on a school, the first thing you must do is find out the application deadline. You'll find this information on the college's website. Many colleges do not accept applications after a certain date, and some offer particular scholarships to students who have their applications in by a certain date. Be sure you know these deadline dates. The next step is to get an application. Most colleges offer the application online, and once filled out, the application can be submitted online. Most institutions still offer paper or printable applications, so if you'd rather fill it out on paper, call the school and ask to have one sent to you. Once you have your application, take the time to read them carefully. Every college has different requirements and instructions for the applicants. The introduction page will offer helpful hints to guide you through the process specific to each college and keep you informed every step of the way. When you begin filling out your college application, you will need to know your mailing address, your social security number, an email address that you check often, your driver's license number, which verifies your residency, and both of your parents' addresses if different from your own, along with working phone numbers. You will also need information from your school. It's helpful to have a copy of your high school transcript. That high school transcript will have the year you began high school, all of the classes you've taken, and the grades you received in each class. The transcript will also provide you with your overall GPA and college entrance test scores. Be prepared to list all of your extracurricular activities, academic honors and awards, employment information, and community service experiences. College applications will ask for dates, positions held, and a brief description of your responsibilities. You will need to request to have an official copy of your high school transcript sent to the colleges you are applying to. In addition, if you have dual enrolled in a college class, request that your college transcript are also sent to the college you are applying to. Be sure to ask your high school counselor for your high school's 6-digit school code. Colleges use that code to verify what you put on your application. You will also need to acquire your high school counselor's name, phone number, and email address. Look for the application fee next. Many colleges require an application fee when you submit an online application. You need to be prepared to enter a credit or debit card number or mail a check once you've completed your application. You may be eligible for an application fee waiver if you meet at least one of the indicators of economic need. See your high school counselor for more information about fee waivers. Some applications will require you to write a personal essay. In your essay, you will have the opportunity to focus on one aspect of yourself so the readers can learn more about who you are. Remember that the readers must be able to find your main idea and follow it from beginning to end. Ask a parent or a teacher to just read your introduction and tell you what he or she thinks about your essay. If your college application does not require a personal essay, you might want to attach one to provide information about yourself that didn't fit in other areas of your application. It can also be used to explain special circumstances that have occurred in your life that have affected your GPA or test scores. Once you have completed and proofread your college application, follow the directions of how to submit it to the college. Check your mail and your email often for admission status, and best of luck to you.
If you'd like more help applying for college, you can contact Sue Ritchie at sue.ritchie@lasd.us. Coming up next, our LASD nurse has some ways for you to feel better every day.
La 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 la, I love you so. I love you, I love you. La 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 la, la 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 la.
We're here.
Yay!
It's a short drive from your neighborhood to your naturehood. To find a neighborhood park or green space near you, visit discovertheforest.org.
This new mom is struggling to get the skates just right. Now she's holding on for dear life.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of siblings in foster care will take you just as you are.
There's a saying that you should take some time to smell the roses. And what about walking barefoot in the park? Well, our school nurse, Mary Markle, says that might make you feel better. Here's today's Wellness 101.
Hi, I'm Mary Markle. When's the last time you kicked off your shoes and reveled in the feeling of the earth under your feet? Been a while? It may sound hard to believe, but engaging in the simple pleasure could give your health a much-needed boost. Here's why. You're an electrical being. Your body regularly produces positive charges, which can oxidize and harm you if it's excessive. The Earth's surface maintains a negative charge with free electrons. To put it simply, it's thought that the influx of free electrons from the Earth's surface will help neutralize free radicals and reduce inflammation, which is at the root of many health conditions such as high blood pressure and arthritis. So the next time you find yourself actually walking on the Earth's surface, take a bit of a walk on the wild side and take those puppies off. I'm Mary Markle. Be well.
When we come back, the community comes together to raise kids in Lenawee County.
Of all the things you've done with your bike, donating it to Goodwill may be the most incredible of all. Your donations help fund job placement and training for people in your community, which means your stuff can be more powerful than you think. Goodwill. Donate stuff, create jobs.
Don't let salmonella get funky with your chicken. On average, 1 in 6 Americans will get a foodborne illness this year. So learn the right temperature to cook each type of meat. Keep your family safe at foodsafety.gov.
The Head Start program at Adrian School District knows no borders, and it pulls in families from all around Lenawee County. And this program starts even with babies and helps their parents along the way too. What a wonderful program here in Lenawee County. Listen to this.
It is work time, and this is the time when they can choose what they want to be doing during the day. The self-help skills is we teach them to do what they can for themselves. It's a lot of taking care of themselves. Socially, we do a lot of like the conflict resolution. We work with families, not just the child. We work with the whole family, and we help the families be stable. We always want to try and give them those tools so that they can do that in a manner where it's not punishing. We want them to learn how to solve their problems in a, in a manner where it's a positive way. We help them learn so much during the time that they're here because we want them to be successful in life and in school. We just do so much for the family. If they're having a problem with anything at home, we try to be a resource for the family and try to get them to a place where they could get the help that they need for utilities, for rent. We want them to come in and volunteer and see what we do here so that they can use some of the language that we use at school, at home, and so that the consistency is there.
Imagination is what they go for, and that's what I love about it. It's not just a set of rules. You do this, you do that. Here they let them go and explore on their own and observe that, so that's what drew me into Head Start. With this program, he's learning a lot. Healthy choices, how to say what he needs, conflict, how to resolve the conflict. He's learning to think, and that's what I love about this program, is that he's learning how to use his mind and his voice, how to resolve. He's done a lot on his own, and it's just like, wow, he was just a baby, and now he's his own person. You don't know that they are their own little person until you really see it. And I'm working here, you see these kids, it's just like, wow, they have their own mind.
We service over 400 children and families in Lenawee County, pregnant moms and children ages birth to 5. It's federally funded, and those funds come to Adrian Public Schools to use to service not only the kids in the school district, but the kids throughout the county. So it just helps the family, the parent-child bond, and also just becoming more self-sufficient and successful.
I've been with the program many, many years, and if I can make a difference in even one child's life, being here every day, helping them through things that they need to work through, that's a high accomplishment. That's really what I want to do. I want to make a difference in a child's life because so many of the children that we serve come from where I came, and I know what kinds of things can go on in those families, and the fact that I am where I'm at, I know that it can happen for these children too. If somebody cares enough to get them there.
We don't know any different because Adrian Public Schools has always had Head Start in this county since the beginning, so we just passed our 50th milestone. So for us, that's just what we do. We think of all of the kids, as ours, regardless of where they live. And it gives us a positive presence in areas that don't have as many resources as what we do. It's a really good place to work. It makes you feel good.
Some truly amazing things going on right there. And it shows that it really does take a community to raise a child and ultimately families right here in Lenawee County. Well, do you like smoked salmon? Have you ever tried to prepare it? Well, our culinary students here at the LISD Tech Center are learning from our own chef right here on how to fillet a salmon. We'll watch them fillet it right after this.
If you don't fix them, sparks from dragging tow chains could cause a wildfire, and that could be scary. Only you can prevent wildfires.
Our culinary students are cooking and baking in class almost every day. Trust me, our studio is right next door to the kitchen, and their assignments really smell good. And sometimes the students stand back and watch our LISD chef, Jake Graff, work his magic. And today, he's showing them how to debone and fillet a huge salmon. Watch this.
So I brought in this whole salmon. We look at the eyes, we look at the gills, we smell it to see if it's fresh. This was actually caught on the 6th. It was delivered to us yesterday. We are going to prepare it today. So once again, we look at this fish. We check for freshness. When we push it, it bounces back. The eyes are nice and clear. The gills are starting to brown out. You can start to see that. That is just a sign of it becoming less fresh. So that's why we are going to prepare all today as well. So if we start here, we're looking at the fish. We're actually going to cut right along. We want to cut right on top of this fin, and then we're going to go all the way down to the tail. We're going to cut this. We're going to start right here by essentially cutting, all right? And essentially we're cutting we're going to cut the head off. Now we're going to take our knife and we're going to cut right along that backbone. Once again, I'm just going to do it from this side, okay? And now we're going to take our knife, and you hear that flipping, that sound, that's cracking right literally through the bones. So we're going to get here, and we want to go right, just run it right along there. So you can tell this is going to be a pretty big fillet. Okay, so now we flip it off, and now this is what the inside of a salmon looks like. So when we talk about pin bones, these are all pin bones right in here. They are right in here as well, and we're going to have to pluck each one of those out. So we have the nice inside interior of a fillet. Once again, this is a really high quality fish. This fish was about $85. We filleted it nice. So now we're just gonna set that right here. Now on a fillet, all right, this is all belly fat that we're actually gonna trim off. All right, so we're just actually gonna trim it pretty much right there. We could do a lot of things with this. We could turn it into like a mousse. We could top it, this mousse, with on here and then dip like potatoes or a lot of stuff in. We'll actually freeze this for a rainy day when we're not having much to do, and we'll play around with it. I'm actually gonna try to cut these rib bones right on out. Notice how I am cutting. I'm just kind of doing short little strokes. All right. I don't want to tear this salmon. It's pretty delicate. Okay, and actually if you were to feel that, it's pretty much all bones. You can see them right in there. So now that I have a nice fillet, we're actually going to pin bone it. And I have some needle nose pliers right here that you need to use. How to pin bone, where to find the pin bones. Pin bones, if you run your hand like opposite of how the fish is, so if you run them just like this, you can actually feel them. If anyone wants to grab a glove and actually be able to feel it, it's pretty obvious. They run pretty much the entire length, so that's a pin bone. All right, they actually make a machine that does this now, so you don't have to do this. Come on up if you got once you got your glove on. All right, run your hand. Do you feel those?
Oh yeah.
Those are all pin bones. Feel that? Feel them right here, right along that. So those are all pin bones. Now, when we're talking serve safe, if a chef fails to take these out, what kind of contaminant is that? That's a physical contaminant. Good. So we're going to try to find right here, right along there. Feel those? Those are all pin bones. So we do not want any physical contaminants. So we're going to take them all. So hopefully I take all the pin bones out, or else you guys are going to have some physical contaminants in your fish tomorrow. Don't blame me. All right, so you can see this taking quite a long time. Come on, you little rascal. You don't want to puncture the fish, all right? So you don't want to kind of like mutilate it. When you go to a store and you see like a fish mutilated right down here, that means that probably someone that didn't know what they were really doing was picking out pin bones, which is a good sign not to buy the fish. So then you kind of run your whole finger back and forth. I don't feel any. Kind of double check, you keep double checking. All right, I think we are good. Now to fillet this right off from the skin. Oh, there's one left right there. Gotcha. All right, now to fillet it. I always try to work away. My knife is gonna go away. So I don't want any scales on it. I'm gonna clean up my knife and I'm gonna push away, all right? So when you are here, when you have this fish, all right, let's clean up all these pin bones and stuff. I'm gonna take my knife, I'm gonna push, and I'm gonna pull with this hand. All right, it seems kinda weird at first, but you're gonna get it. So we're gonna just cut. Salmon skin is pretty tough, so you don't have to worry about really cutting through it when you make this first little cut. You can then take your knife and you see how I'm holding this and I'm just kind of wiggling my knife down through. Now that I have this, essentially you don't want any salmon meat left on your fillet or on the skin. So I'm gonna pull this. Notice the angle of my knife. My knife is at about a 45, 35 degree angle, and I'm just gonna keep pulling this and pushing with my other hand. Okay, notice short little strokes. All right, now if I take this out, so it kind of looks like snake skin, right? But notice, I did one heck of a job. There's no meat left on that, right? Now, if we look at this side, how does that side look? Looks pretty darn good, doesn't it? So now from here, we can cut our fillets or our portions. Up here, this is all a fat little chain. So we're just gonna kind of trim that off. Salmon is a pretty fat fish or fatty, oily fish to begin with. So each group is probably gonna get a nice, I always like to trim that part off just to square it up, and now I'm gonna start cutting my fillets or my portions. I think I have 7 groups. All right, so each group's gonna get one of these. You're just gonna have to split it up when we cook it tomorrow. All right, I'm gonna take one and we're gonna, I mean, that's a big old piece of salmon right there. Look at that, isn't that beautiful?
What a fantastic program. These kids are getting so much experience at the side of our own professional chef. And their homework, well, it tastes pretty good too. That's our show, and thanks for sharing time with us. If you see something amazing going on right here in Lenawee, we want to know about it. Email us at lisdtv@lisd.us. I'm your host, Kelly Heidbrader. Make it a great day, Lenawee.